Hello again, and welcome to another segment of Mind Your Business, brought to you by IBC Commerce Bank. We're thrilled to be here again to welcome our special guest. My name is Gabriel Castillo, and today we have Amber Holmes with the Kazen Fellowship Program and Mr. Chris Flores. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
One of the things we're going to be talking about today, and if I had to give this show a theme, I would call it "The Future Looks Bright, You Gotta Wear Shades." And if you're old enough, you'll remember what song that was. I think it was Huey Lewis and the News. But that's the whole idea of this show today. We're talking about the future and how bright it looks for Laredo and how bright it looks for the young people that are part of it right now. I believe Mr. Flores here is a student at Esther Buckley Early College, right? At Laredo Independent School District?
That's correct.
And what is your classification at this time?
My classification, I am a junior.
A junior.
Yes.
Okay, great. And Amber, can you tell us a little bit about the Kazen Fellowship Program? Because I know you were a part of its birth, and I think you must be very proud of it. I know I'm very proud of you all for all the work that you do. We've worked together on several projects, but tell us and tell our audience a little bit more about it.
Absolutely. I am an attorney here, a local attorney here, and a couple years ago, I was on our local bar association, and I really wanted to figure out some kind of program or initiative for our local lawyers to help support the youth of Laredo. And so I spoke with Judge Diana Saldana from the federal court, and just told her of my plans, my ideas, but I didn't know exactly what it would look like, and I needed some direction. And she said, "Wonderful, I have the best plan, and I want to do a fellowship program with the federal courts, but I need the help of the local bar association." So it started with a conversation, and now we've done 3 programs, and we're heading towards our 4th.
And we're thrilled as a bank to be a part of that, because I know we've gone to teach financial literacy to your students. And let me say, your students are all dynamic, amazing, outstanding. I mean, I don't have enough words to describe them. So much so that last year, we hired one of your students at IBC Bank.
Oh,
she was an
wow.
intern before she went to U of H. And you know, when I did the interviews, I must have interviewed about 4 people that wanted to work in the summer. I couldn't pick. They were all wonderful. They were all great. They all dressed professionally. They all spoke. They were articulate. So this program is not just about, oh, let's do something fun. This is really molding a future leader.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about one program or a couple of programs and what you all do with the program and the students.
So it's funny that you mentioned it's difficult to pick. So with our application process, the schools and the counselors at all the schools here in Laredo, LASD, UISD, the private schools, the charter schools, the counselors allow the kids to, they convey to the kids about the program and how to apply. So when we go through the applications, we're looking to focus on just 20 to 30 students, and we'll get hundreds of applications. And all the kids are so incredible. They're so talented. They're so motivated. So it is so hard to pick. And so we have the same problem, right? Picking the 25 that we think is going to be the most cohesive, work together the best, and that are motivated. But it is so hard to pick. But we usually do focus on sophomores who are going into their junior year. So applying in maybe the spring of their sophomore year, going into their junior year, so that we have time with them before they're thinking about college, so that we can help give guidance. So that we've taken younger students and older students, but that's really our primary focus.
And then within the program, like I said, I think we were invited to do a financial literacy class. I think we've done about 2 or 3 already, where we go in and kind of talk about preparing yourself really for the future, college-wise. You know, what you need to do now is start your credit, start your good credit, start your, savings, how to save money for the future. And like I said, they ask really good questions, better than some adults. Some customers. They really were asking very intricate questions and very detailed questions about what they can do to prepare themselves. So tell us about some other programs that are involved like that.
So the program is based at the federal courthouse. So a lot of it has to do with law enforcement or the legal community, but we also really want to focus on preparing these kids for the future. And so they do incorporate a lot of other soft skills, financial awareness, college preparedness, civic engagement. And so it's more encompassing than just the law, because we want to make sure that these kids are well prepared for their future.
So tell us about that one program that I saw a picture of where they're all dressed up. What was that about?
Well, I can probably pass that over.
Okay.
It was the first civics Jamaica that we've had. It was all focused on civic engagement, but I think
Chris
would be
can you
better.
tell us a little bit more about that?
The Civic Engagement Jamaica was the first ever in Laredo's history, and it was just bringing all the Kazen Fellows and just making sure that each one of the Kazen Fellows, or in a group, made a little booth and incorporating something about our nation and our local government. How, like, one of us did a get to know your city council members. My group, we did a chip walk, but we did the 15 amendments, and then whoever wins just has to name an example of the amendment, and then they win the chips, and then that will be it for our booth. But I know there's plenty other booths that incorporated a lot more.
And now that we're talking to you, Chris, about the programs, tell us another experience you've had that highlights kind of your time so far with the Kazen Fellow program.
Well, there's a lot to choose from, but one of them that highlights the most is the mock trial for sure. Yes,
Yeah.
the mock trial we did, the whole program is just based on the mock trial. We prepare for the mock trial for five to 4 weeks, and then the last day we would do the mock trial. And it was a super fun experience that everybody in the Laredo should experience, every youth in Laredo should experience.
So tell me, what role did you play in the mock trial?
In the mock trial, I played the prosecutor, and it was me and another fellow alongside with me.
And then within the program, you have, I think, coaches or mentors or attorneys, real attorneys,
Yes, we do.
help you. Tell us about that. Who was helping you with that?
I believe my attorney was named Andrew, and he helped me a lot. He was a defense attorney, but he helped me for a prosecuting attorney, and he was a great mentor. He followed me through the process of a mock trial and just the questions I should be asking, some good questions, some bad questions that I should be asking for a cross-examination.
That's very interesting. You know, I did get to stumble upon that mock trial, and it was fascinating. And I wish it was open to the public, but I know it was already filled. The room was already filled up with just the students and teachers and everyone involved. But it was really a very impressive program. With that said, I'm going to continue with more conversation with Amber and Chris when we come back. So don't go anywhere. You'll want to hear more about the program and how you can be a part of it. We'll be right back.
Hola Laredo, I'm Leanne Bernal, your new co-host for Hola, and I'm so excited to be a part of this journey with you. On our website, we're talking all things lifestyle, whether it's local spots you love or new ones you haven't discovered yet. If you have a story to share or want to be featured, send us an email at hola@kgns.tv. We'd love to connect with you. And don't forget to follow us on social media to keep up with everything we've got going on. Laredo, this is for you. See you soon.
How strong is your app's security?
Reach the nation's fastest growing audience. U.S. Hispanics are digital first and ready to engage. GDM and Espanol offers a full suite of digital marketing solutions to reach Spanish-dominant and bilingual Hispanic consumers. Delivering ads in your audience's preferred language means higher engagement, more conversions, stronger brand loyalty, and growth for your business. Let's connect. GDM and Espanol. GrayDigitalMedia.com.
Today, we're teaching the children to save.
IBC Bank teaches children to save. At IBC Bank, we believe financial education starts early. That's why we're bringing fun, interactive learning straight to the classroom. From hands-on workbooks to exciting prizes, our financial literacy sessions teach students how to make smart money moves they'll carry for life. Want your school to be part of the fun? Contact IBC Bank today and schedule your free financial literacy class.
Welcome back to our show, Mind Your Business, where we talk about all things business. And in today's show is no different, except we're talking about the future of business and the future of business leaders. And very proud to have Amber Holmes here, a local attorney, and Mr. Christopher Flores, who is a student at Esther Buckley Early College for LISD. Both were sharing their information, their experiences with the Kazen Fellow Program. And, you know, I've dealt a lot with Judge Saldana with this program and through other projects. She doesn't stop. She's involved in so many things.
Yes.
And sometimes I tell her, I said, just when do you breathe? Because she's doing it and doing her job.
Yes.
Very well. And doing all of them very well. So I think that's wonderful. And that's a great example to all of you, I'm sure, to see your mentors doing so much. And I think that inspires you, motivates you that I'm going to do more as well. No pun intended. That's our logo. That's our motto, too, at IBC. So doing more is what it's all about. In your case, Chris, what are your plans? I know it's early. You're just getting started. But do you already see what your future's going to look like and what you want it to look like?
With the Kazen Fellowship Program, it did open a lot of doors. At first, I did not see myself going into the law aspect of my career, of my future. But with the Kazen Fellowship Program, it did open a lot of doors. And I feel like the Kazen Fellowship Program is just like a creaking door of opportunities. And it did give me a lot of opportunities of becoming a lawyer just for one day. And it was a super fun experience.
And within that program, let me ask you this, because one of the things that I as talkative as I am and as try to be, gregarious and outgoing, it's hard to go somewhere where you don't know any students, right? And I'm sure they were all great. How was that experience meeting other students from other schools?
It was an amazing experience just being surrounded with like-minded individuals, people that want to make Laredo a better place. And it was super easy making friends with them because everybody just clicked automatically. In the first week, we all knew each other's names and we all called each other friends.
That's great. Now, Amber, I know that you have a strong professional group that supports this program. How do they work out in this program?
Honestly, we don't have that large of a legal community here in comparison to other cities of our size. So we really depend on a lot of community groups, such as IBC Bank. IBC has been really supportive of the program, and it runs completely on donations. And so a lot of the community has come together to assist us. The county, the city, different organizations have come out to support us because right now it's still just being supported by our community. And so we need the support, and they've really shown up for us in all aspects.
And speaking of support, like every other good organization and every good project, it needs financial support.
It does.
So I know that you partnered with STARS in some way, and we're going to be putting some information on the screen on how our audience can help out and contribute to this cause.
Yes.
So tell us about that collaboration.
So we're still working towards getting our 501c3. When we first started, this was a bit of a pipe dream, and it is growing. And so we've been partnering with Star Scholarship Fund. They are a 501c3, so all of our donations work through Star Scholarship Fund so that the donor can get the tax deduction. And also, the benefit of working with STARS is that they will typically match the scholarship. Whatever we give in scholarships to the graduates from the program, they will match. And a lot of times if they go to a Texas school, the Texas public school may match it as well. So a small donation can triple in size. So every donation helps, every donation matters, and we're completely dependent right now on donations. So our existence depends on the community support.
And one of the things that is very important in that whole deal, right? Because you have to go out there and kind of hit the pavement, and talk to people and get the word out. And one thing we were talking about earlier is soft skills and social engagement. How are you approaching that issue? I know that, in my opinion, my humble opinion, post-COVID, I feel our students because of just the situation, lack the soft skills, the communication, because they're just, they kind of have a relationship with their phones and their computers, and that's it, their iPads. and we have to build on that. Are you all addressing that in any way?
I think Judge Saldana, during the program, especially during the summer program, she makes them put their phones away. I don't think they're even allowed to have them during the
Good.
program, and it's an all-day program. And she really forces them out of those shells and to communicate with each other and with the other people that we work with. And so she definitely brings it out of them because it is difficult. It's a difficult skill, and in the world that we live in, it's not cultivated very much. And so I think she provides an environment where it kind of brings it out of them forcefully.
And that's wonderful because, like, I think we were talking about that earlier too. I really, and I've said this every different times when I speak to students, that I cursed the day the iPhone was invented for several reasons. One was, at the old days, you could say, oh, I missed a call, and that was it. You know, you didn't have to worry about it. Now you can't miss a call because they can text you, they can send you a group chat, they can send an email. So there's no avoiding
You can't
people.
miss it.
You have to answer something somewhere along the way. But in reality, like you said, we have to build social skills. And as much as we say, oh, everyone can learn that, it takes practice, just like everything else. It takes practice. You're not going to be a good golf player just by watching a video.
Yeah.
You know, you have to go and hit the ball. You know, hit the ball, hit the ball. And that's the same thing with talking. You have to talk. You have to speak. You have to engage. You have to, you know, go out there and meet people. And so I think that's very important. And I did see that with the interviews that I conducted with the students, the Kazen Fellows that came to apply for the job. I did notice that all of them were very prepared, just like you, Chris. They were very prepared and answering questions and answering them appropriately and with the right answers and everything. So I think that's very important. So how can someone out there in the community right now that's saying, wow, that's a great program, how can I get more involved in it?
Right now, I'm probably the primary contact along with Judge Saldana and Judge Song Quiroga. She's a magistrate judge for the federal court as well. And like I said earlier, our community partners are so important because there's so many aspects in how we can prepare these students. And this program really is about providing opportunity. And it doesn't have to be a legal opportunity. We need to invest in these kids because these are the kids that we want to then turn around and invest in our community and grow it.
That's wonderful. Well, I want to talk a little bit more about that and then finish off with a little more about Chris's future and what his plans are and what his friends' plans are. So you won't want to miss this. Please come back and join us because we're going to continue talking all things future, all things Kazen Fellow. We'll be right back.
Hola Laredo, Marcela Delgado here, inviting you to join the fun. There's a little bit of everything for everyone. Lifestyle, fashion, wellness, local shops and services, yummy eats, live music, entertainment, and of course, so much more. Catch the Hola segment on air, only on KGNS Plus. Visit our website, holalaredo.com. Follow us on our social media too. Want an interview for your business or event? Send us an email. Talk soon.
How strong is your app's security?
Today, we're teaching the children to save.
IBC Bank teaches children to save. At IBC Bank, we believe financial education starts early. That's why we're bringing fun, interactive learning straight to the classroom. From hands-on workbooks to exciting prizes, our financial literacy sessions teach students how to make smart money moves they'll carry for life. Want your school to be part of the fun? Contact IBC Bank today and schedule your free financial literacy class.
Reach the nation's fastest growing audience. U.S. Hispanics are digital first and ready to engage. GDM in Espanol offers a full suite of digital marketing solutions to reach Spanish-dominant and bilingual Hispanic consumers. Delivering ads in your audience's preferred language means higher engagement, more conversions, stronger brand loyalty, and growth for your business. Let's connect. GDM in Espanol. GrayDigitalMedia.com.
Welcome back to another segment of Mind Your Business. Today we're talking to Amber Holmes, a local attorney, and Mr. Chris Flores, a student at the Esther Buckley Early College at LISD. Once again, welcome. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all this because my interest as, I guess, a marketing person with IBC Bank is doing community work and enhancing community work that's already taking place. And when I saw this program, I was really amazed at everything that was happening. On your end, Chris, I want to hear more about what your fellow students are saying and what they're thinking beyond what your thoughts are. What do you think about the program? What do they think about the program and just the community effort?
Oh, the program is just an amazing program and an amazing opportunity to be opening up your mind for new opportunities. Although you might not want to be in the law aspect of your future, it's still a great opportunity just to look through and just be able to experience it.
And do you see everyone just as enthusiastic? I mean, I've seen it myself, but what do you think about the other students?
The other students, they're, well, amazing students as well. The first week, I mean, we did click really fast. Very like-minded individuals like myself, and they just love the programs as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Amber, do the majority of your students stay through the whole gamut of the?
Yes, we usually have all of them from the beginning to the end, and even when it's over, it's never over. With Judge Saldana, she brings in the seniors who graduated. They went from the program into their senior year. They're still involved in the program so much, and they will help volunteer over the summers. They're part of our fundraising activities, so they stay with us. And even once they go to college, we've had college students come back and still be part of the program in some way. So cool. They stay around.
That's great. And personally, our former employee, Lucy, she still writes to us. As a matter of fact, I wrote a recommendation letter because she was going to get a job in Houston. Yeah. She was going to stay for the summer there, and she's doing great at school too. So, very touched by that.
Yes.
And I love that she's doing so well as well. But so the program itself, you kind of were like I said, were the mother of it, kind of because you started it. Why the name Kazen Fellow?
Well, I can't really take the credit. I went to Judge Saldana because I definitely wanted to do something for our community that was more than just being a lawyer.
And that's all you had to tell her, and she ran with it.
Yes, and she was like, I have the idea, I have the plan, this is what we're going to do. And so it's modeled after a fellowship program that they have on the East Coast. And when we went to name it, she felt very passionately about naming it after Judge Kazen. He was a former federal judge here in Laredo, and he was extraordinarily committed to community service. And she worked as a prosecutor underneath of him before she became a judge, and he really instilled that service was the key to growing our community, and she has kept that very close to her heart. So when it came to what are we going to call it, there was no question. It was going to be the George P. Kazen Fellows.
Yeah, and I've known Judge Saldana probably since the day she came into town, because my friend is a federal prosecutor, and she brought her to lunch one time, and she herself has a story to tell. She comes from a migrant family, I think Carrizo?
Yes.
I think with Carrizo. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's an amazing story of a family, that has relentless, hardworking,
mm-hmm.
It's in your DNA.
Yeah.
That you want to succeed, that you want to be, but to pay it forward is also just as important.
Yeah.
You've reached your goal. You've reached your the things that you wanted in your life, but now you want to help others do it. So I think that's wonderful of both of you. Both of you that are taking this initiative, because, I mean, you've got your career. You could go home and relax and watch Netflix, every afternoon, and Saturdays go shopping, go to San Antonio, but you don't. You work on this.
Yeah.
So I commend you all tremendously for that, because that takes a lot of effort. And audience out there, some food for thought. If you want to volunteer, if you want to help out, you can be a part of this too, because it's very important that these programs continue for our students.
Yeah.
And I think from what I see here, the program starts with how many students?
We usually try to pick around 25 students.
Okay, so it's and it's 25 from sophomores, and they go on to the next year. They go on to
Yes. So the main program, the summer fellowship, is a 5-week program during the summer, and so we do applications usually in the spring, and those applicants will choose about 25 people. Then starting in the summer, they'll start that internship with the federal courthouse. But it's just for that 1 year. But like I said, when they continue on to their senior year, they usually do come back and help in some way. And so the program over the summer, again, is where we use a lot of the community partners or previous Kazen Fellows who have gone off to college to come and talk to the kids in some way. It might be a class, it might be a one-time talk, but everyone has something to share and something to give. And so we need money always, but we also need volunteers for that aspect as well, to come and talk to the kids and tell them of different career opportunities, have those introductions so that we provide even more opportunity for them.
Well, we're going to have that information on screen for everybody to go, so be careful what you wish for. You might end up with too many people calling, but that's not a bad thing, because we've had other programs, and to be honest with you, we also had the J.W. Nixon Business School program, and with dynamic students there too. We have wonderful young people, and that's I think my motivating factor, and I think it's yours too, to see young people like Chris that are getting started, that are committed, responsible, ready to go to the next level in their lives, and I think that's why we're here. That's why we're working on so hard on this thing. And Chris, as far as you're concerned, I know that you are in the early college program. Yes. What inspired you to do that? Because now that program is for health, right?
Yes.
So now, what are you gonna defend doctors now, or what's the deal?
Oh, I just saw it as an opportunity because I know in Laredo we don't have that many opportunities, and I saw this as an opening, and I wanted to take it because we do need a lot of people to stand up and say that this program could help people to go to the next level, because we do need that in Laredo since we're not a big city, but we should be highly represented as a big city. And
you are, and I know that the program is I was getting some information from your counselors earlier, telling me how some of you graduate with associate's degrees. So financially, that's already a big plus. You already have that expense out of the way, and then of course you're getting to the next level. So I think all these things are good for our future for Laredo, and I want to congratulate you for taking this initiative and doing this. That inspires all of us to say that we want to help Kazen Fellows and do more, and I'm sure you're going to be a great ambassador, as are you, Amber. I know you work so hard on this program, just like Diana. We really appreciate everything that you're doing, and I hope our audience will go out there and do the same. So thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We wish you lots of luck, and know that we're here for you, anything you need. Audience, thank you for being here with us today, and keep up the good work on your end, helping your community, enhancing the quality of life for everyone here in Laredo. We'll see you next time on Mind Your Business. Have a great day.